Hey Divas, Lindsay here. Happy Monday to you. Hope you are having a fantastic start to your week. Today we are talking about one of the most important tools in your direct sales business. We've talked for the last couple weeks about customer care. We've talked about gardening, getting your name out, avoiding the summer slump, how to really, keep your business going through these months that start with J that are supposed to be slow months and stuff, so that you're lining yourself up for a fantastic holiday selling season of 2015. Today we're talking about and going in depth with the explanation of a Hostess packet. And you may be thinking, wait a minute, Lindsay, this is such a no-brainer. This is total elementary. But I want you to hang in there. I want to talk about some of the things that are not talked about with the Hostess packet and why they are so very important. Everything from the things that are included in a Hostess packet, the order in which they go in, and what is too much, what is too little, and what can you never, ever, ever forget. So we're going to launch right into it with how to have the perfect Hostess packet. Okay, so no matter what your company is or what your product is, having a fantastic Hostess packet is key to the success of every single in-home party that you're going to have. The Hostess packet is literally kind of the first impression or first connection that you have with your new business partner that night. So whether you are handing the Hostess packet to someone, maybe in line at Target or in an ordering room, or whether you're having to send it through the mail, either way, this is that first impression, that first bit of this is what we're doing. The Hostess packet not only lets your hostess know what you expect from her, it also lets her know what she can expect from you. So I'm going to have all of these templates and printables and all that kind of good stuff and some recommendation of some other things that you want to have that your company provides. And the order in which they go in, because that's super duper important also. So we're just going to kind of go through this, and then again, in the products bundle, I'll have the links below to download. We're going to start with the left-hand side. So here's what I want you to imagine. Whether you're using a folder that your company provides or a folder that you picked up at your local store, either one, imagine we're opening it up. Okay, just like this. Now, if you have maybe a smaller one, maybe your company provides smaller, and we're doing these in the normal, piece of, just fold it in half. That's what I did. We actually had a smaller folder, Hostess folder that our company provided. No big deal. I just folded them in half and they worked perfectly fine. So whether you're using a great big one or whatever makes no difference. But here's what I want you to imagine. The folder's like this, like a book. We open it up. We're talking about that left-hand side. So just like a book, you start at the left, right? And go over. All right, so the very first thing is a Hostess letter. Now, I have created one that is just kind of a standard, again, like a framework. This is one that you can take notes from, but you want the Hostess folder to be in your own words. This is the very first thing that they are going to see. So you want this to sound like it is coming from you. Remember, people do business with people, and people like that connection. So make sure that this is in your own words, your own voice. And there's a couple things you want to make sure that your Hostess letter has. The first thing, obviously, is the thank you. Thank her for having the party, put the information about the party, Friday night, June 16th, or whatever it may be. Have the thank you. I'm so excited to meet you and your friends, yada, yada, yada. The second thing is to talk about the benefits that she can have. Now, this is just quick. Mine says you'll have the opportunity to earn lots of free products before and at your party. Please encourage your guests to bring a friend. Any guests that bring a friend will receive a special gift. But talk about that stuff, okay? Talk about that free stuff, because ultimately, even though your party is fun and they love you and they love the party, whatever, they're going to want the free stuff. The next thing is to touch on the guest list. Now, in our Hostess coaching, our verbal Hostess coaching, which we'll have in 2 weeks, then we talk about when you are actually booking the party to talk about the importance of the guest list. Put it in writing also. So this says the same verbiage that I recommend you say on the phone. The most important piece of paper in this Hostess packet is the guest list. Please return this to me as quickly as possible with enough stamps to mail the invitations of all your guests, and I have a special prize for you if you can do that within 5 days. The number one reason why parties cancel: no one can come. And no one can come is Hostess speak for I didn't get everybody invited in time. I still believe in the paper invitation. I believe also in having a Facebook event, but there is something magic that happens when you stick that little stamp on something and actually mail it. Plus, there's fun games and stuff that you can play with that. Also, we will talk about in the coming weeks as we continue this series. The next thing you want to include is the payment information. If there's anything that the hostess needs to know in order to collect outside orders. Does she collect tax? Does she collect shipping? Is shipping different based on what they order? Those type of things. Your order form may have that already in there, but make sure that you explain it. There's nothing worse than your hostess working really, really hard to get great outside orders and you having to call every single one of them because the money is messed up. So explain as best as you can. And this is something you'll also go over in your hostess coaching on the phone as well. The next thing is completely optional. And this is something that some people agree with and some people don't. And that's a cancellation policy. My verbiage was, parties are parties are in huge demand. More than ever before. Due to limited dates available, I'm scheduling parties 2 and 3 months in advance. If for some reason you are unable to hold your party on its original date and do not give a proper 2 weeks notice, a $45 cancellation fee will apply. Here's the thing about this cancellation fee. I never had to use it, and I never wanted to use it. And the point of having a cancellation fee is not to use it. But it is to say, just like your doctor or, my nail technician even has it, where a cancellation fee, if she doesn't get a notification, if you don't let her know that you can't hold the appointment, doctors do it, same thing, because their time is valuable. Your time is valuable. So, it's okay to put this in there. If someone needs to cancel, then they just need to let you know. That's all you're saying. And if they do cancel in less than the 2 weeks, then you get to be that wonderful consultant who waives the cancellation fee, no problem, and they love you even more. You don't ever have to use it, but this is a great way to put in there that basically says, this is a party for you, but it's a business for me. Totally optional whether you want to put it in there or not, but I had it in my hostess letter, and then I wrapped it up with another thank you, looking forward to your party, can't wait to meet your friends, so on and so forth. And then, of course, your contact information, all right? So again, that's just one page. That is the hostess letter. Again, you want it to be in your own words. The download for that to the framework that you can kind of start building will be below. The next piece of paper in your hostess packet is A Tale of Two Hostesses. This is a fantastic poem that has been passed around for years in the direct sales industry. I am not taking credit for this, although I do wish I knew who wrote it because it is fantastic. I loved having The Tale of Two Hostesses in here because it's a cute story that highlights what being a great hostess is about. And so I'll read it really, really quickly. It says, congratulations, you booked a show. You're getting free stuff. You couldn't say no. Here's a tale of two hostesses, as you can see. So listen and pick which one you will be. First there was Mary, so proper was she. Her invitations were written in calligraphy. I'll invite just 10. I know not too many. I'm sure they will come, so there will be plenty. She forgot to remind them to bring a friend. I'm not sure that many chairs will fit in my den. Her beautiful catalog sat at home on the table. Outside orders? I wasn't able. She set a buffet fit for a king, but forgot to give her guests a reminder ring. The night of her show, her home looked just great. She lit all her candles and proceeded to wait. Only one guest arrived, the items to see. Why, Mary wondered, does this always happen to me? And then there was Patty, so excited was she made a goal to receive her whole order free. She mailed out 40 invites, plus went on and told more guests than her house could ever hold. People wanted to know what this party's about, so she would stop and pull her catalog out. She explained all the items and what they would see. Outside orders were no problem, not for Patty. Then she called all her guests and said, bring a friend. We'll have all the fun from beginning to end. She didn't have time to set a buffet, so she stopped at the bakery. Her show was that day. They sat on the sofa, they sat on the floor, they sat in chairs, they stood in the door. The house wasn't perfect, but they laughed anyway. They had a great time shopping that day. The numbers were added, mega items were free. Wow, exclaimed Patty, this was fun and easy. Now I put that in there because obviously, guys, don't we want everybody to be a Patty? Absolutely, but we've all had the Mary that wants to have the perfect house and the perfect this and the perfect that. But this says, don't worry about it. These parties are supposed to be fun and easy and relaxed. And you tell your hostess, you're going to do most of the work. So I loved putting the Tale of Two Hostesses in there. It was one piece of paper that really just served the purpose of telling that story. So I absolutely loved that. Hope you guys love it too. And if anybody knows who actually did that, I'd love to give credit because I've seen it about 1,000,000 times. But anyway, we'll have that download below. Now, the next thing is the guest list. So the guest list, again, is the most important piece of paper in the Hostess packet. And that is, again, because you're wanting to secure that party. Now, when we talk about Hostess coaching on the phone or even booking the party, what I would say is in order to secure your date, I need to receive your guest list back. And so what that meant is that I would have your party in pencil until you got me the guest list. Now, the guest list, I just had a place, you can see on here, I just had a place for name, address, and phone number. That was it, okay? And I gave a goodie if they got it within 5 to 7 days. It changed, depending on how booked up I was, honestly. But I have them fill that out. There was no minimum. There was no maximum. I had some people that only sent out 5 or 10. I had some people that literally sent me Xerox copies of their address book. Now, you may have heard when I was talking about the hostess letter that I did request that my hostess send the stamps. I wanted, again, to send this, fill it out, put it in the self-addressed stamped envelope that I required, that I included, and then I did ask for the stamps. If they didn't send me stamps, that was okay. I mailed them anyway. I just write it off as a business expense. But I did request them send the stamps. But when I got the guest list in, I took care of mailing the invitations because, again, number one reason parties cancel, nobody can come. With the guest list, you have taken care of getting the invitations done. You're able to play a game. Like I used to put gold stars on 3 of the invitations, and I told my hostess if she could tell me who got the gold stars before I started the party, I had an extra special gift for her. So that's how I got her to call people and get them to, RSVP, because she had to ask, if they had the gold star or whatever. So games like that were helpful. Plus, and we'll talk about this in a later, or you can search for it because I can go into it now, but I had what I called guest list no-shows, and that was a super, super important part of building my business. But so have the guest list in there, require it to come back in order to secure the date. Once you get the guest list, you can write it in ink, and then you will take care of sending those invitations out. So that is the third part of the hostess packet. All right, so the next 2 things that are in here kind of wrap up that left side, all right? We have our hostess letter, we have our Tale of Two Hostesses, we have our guest list, we have a self-addressed stamped envelope, and then we have these 2. Now, these last 2 are optional, but I suggest them. The first one is 50 guests in 5 minutes. This is not something that she will return, but it is a great kind of memory jogger. When she's really trying to think of who she can invite, these kind of give you like a little prompt for who it might be. So it's friends, relatives, contacts through the children, spouses, friends, or that kind of thing. It's a great way. It's got 50, actually it has 60 I just looked at, because it says, now that I have you started, here's think of a few more. But it has all different kinds of people and different kind of social groups that, will help your hostess to be able to get as many people invited as possible, because we know the more people you invite, the more people are going to show up, but still only about 50% or so of people come. So, but that is just kind of a great way to help your hostess fill out that guest list. And then the last thing is party squares, or we have basically it's a pre-party game, and we have other ones. We have the hostess scavenger hunt, party squares, and there's one other one that I can't think of right now, but I'll have it below. Basically, it's a pre-party game. It is something to get the excitement from the moment that she opens that hostess packet until the party starts. The way that the party squares works, it is a piece of paper that has 100 squares on it. And up here it says, increase your party sales by $100. Sell each block for $1. Write the name and phone number in each block for who purchases. So it's kind of like a lottery or like a pool or whatever. So let's say that you're going to buy 10 party squares. Well, you could either write your name and phone number in number 1 through 10, or you could pick number 1, number 26, number 54, like you can do it however you want it. All right. Your hostess's goal is to sell all 100. And if she does, awesome. I gave her an extra little goodie. Okay. And she would have that $100 towards her party because it counted as party sales. Let's say though she only sold $50. Okay. Then she didn't get the goodie from me, but it was no problem. At the end of the night, after all of the the orders had been placed, I would pull a number from a bag. I had a bag that had all the numbers in it. And whoever's name is on that number wins the amount. So for instance, if it was $100, then that person got to choose $100 in products. If the hostess sold $50, then the winner got to choose $50 in products. It was an additional bonus gift, okay? And that's why you want to do it after the party is over, after all the orders have been placed. It has on here that you do not have to be present to win, but that's why you want that phone number on there, because if you need to call them. So the hostess collects the money. She collects everybody's name on here. So after everything is over, she's going to hand you $100 in cash. She's going to hand you the party squares. You're going to draw the number and call the winner or whatever. And then again, you'll factor that money into the hostess, rewards. It's just as if it was one more order, but it's kind of a fun game to play. So that's one that increases your sales. If you want a pre-party game that increases your attendance, that is the Hostess Scavenger Hunt. And that one we have kind of a similar grid, and it has different types of people. And it's your hostess trying to get as many of those people in the room that she can for the party. So it's fun stuff like a woman with a size 9 shoe, a woman that wears glasses, a woman with all sons, a woman with a college degree, those types of things. It's just super fun. I think there's 21 of them on the form, and it's just super fun to see if your hostess can get somebody who matches that description in her living room for your home party. And of course, if she does, again, then you have a little bit of a goodie for her. So that's just another fun pre-party game. She can kind of, write in who's going to fit the bill or whatever for that, for her to earn some more free goodies. And that's something else that you will mention in your hostess coaching when you're calling and stuff like that. But that is our left-hand side. That is everything we need on the left-hand side for the hostess folder. All right, so that we had all of our stuff on the left-hand side, and most of those are downloads that you'll be able to find, printables below, or ones that you have maybe created. The right-hand side is going to be stuff that probably is provided by your corporate office. On the right-hand side, that's where we're going to be putting your catalogs. You want to make sure that you give 3 to 5 catalogs, or if you have sets of catalogs. The thing is, you're going to be coaching your hostess to hand those catalogs out. You want her to be collecting outside orders. You want her to be sharing the excitement by getting those catalogs out. In the meantime, while the party is, being planned and we're waiting for the actual live party to happen, those catalogs are going to be your selling point. People are going to flip through them. They're going to want to see stuff. They're going to want to learn more, or they may want to go ahead and order. So don't scrimp on the catalogs. You want her to have several of them. Also, order forms. Don't scrimp on those either. Give her several of them, especially if, you think, for instance, let's say she's a nurse and she can take it to the hospital, or she's a teacher and she can take it to school, or maybe she works in a corporate office building. Maybe she's a stay-at-home mom, but she, goes to play groups and stuff like that. There may be opportunities that she can take that hostess packet with the catalogs, with the order forms, all that good stuff, and get some of those outside orders. I recommend, if you are able, to give additional hostess credits for outside orders, because every time a hostess sells something, she's kind of doing your job, and it sets it up for a really great business opportunity, recruiting opportunity, because you can say, wow, you got all those outside orders. How did you like my job? How did you like doing my job? So it's really, really important to make sure that you give several catalogs and several order forms so that she can essentially do your job. She's going to think that she's collecting orders and stuff so that she gets more free stuff, which she is, but it sets up a great recruiting opportunity for you. The other thing that you want to have in there is the Hostess program, of course. So speaking of free stuff, what all could she earn? Have your Hostess program in there. You may also want to include a wish list, which we have down below here in the printable section also. But a wish list is a great way to keep your hostess excited about the things that she can order and keep her wanting to get more orders so that she will earn that. It also can save you time in the ordering room. There is nothing more frustrating than when someone walks in, you've done the party, you've coached for weeks, you've had a great time with all of her friends, you've got all this whatever, and she says, my goodness, I haven't even had a chance to look. And it's like you have to go through the whole thing again, trying to decide what she wants. So put that Hostess program in there, and if it doesn't already have a guest list, you can print out something really, really pretty. We have some examples below to include with that as well. And then the business opportunity information. Make sure you put something in there because, again, you're planting the seeds with those catalogs and those order forms and the wish list and the encouragement about getting those orders and all that kind of stuff. You are really planting the seeds for that opportunity. And if you put it in there, chances are she's going to flip through it. So then when you start asking about it, she'll be able to say, you know what, I looked and I saw that, or maybe she's been thinking about it. Remember always that your hostess is your #1 prospect for recruiting and building your team. And you can always turn your party into a kickoff party. So I did that a lot, especially when they had done all of those outside orders and just been really exciting and stuff like that. If you're brand new and you don't know what a kickoff party is, make sure you search that on the site or look in recruiting over on your right, I think it's my left, and check that out because again, that you can take that party to a whole new level when you make it a kickoff party. So that is it, Divas. Thank you so much. I know this video was a little bit lengthy, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some insight to how important the Hostess packet is to make every in-home party that you do the absolute best that it can be. Now, next week, we are going to be talking about your side of the Hostess. This is the Hostess packet. We're going to be talking about your Hostess folder and what you want to keep, your Hostess coaching, and how you can make the party the absolute best that it can be also. I will see you then. Of course, if you have any questions, you can use the widget in the bottom right-hand corner or shoot me an email to partyplandivas@gmail.com.